Hello, welcome back to the channel. Glad you could join me. Today I want to talk about The Rubber Band by Rex Stout. If you are unfamiliar with Rex Stout, that's somewhat surprising. Rex Stout is famous for having invented the character of Nero Wolfe and then wrote those novels. This particular story, The Rubber Band, is a serialization. So he wrote this as chapters that were sent to the Saturday Evening Post, published in the Saturday Evening Post between February 29th and April 4th in 1936. A long time ago, kind of when novels started becoming a thing, famous writers wouldn't just write a book. What they would do is they would write a chapter of a book and send it to a magazine or some sort of serialization. So they would then publish a chapter and then the next chapter to keep readers coming back to their publications. Now, apparently they did also publish this as a book, but much later. It was, as I said, the Saturday Evening Post serialized it in 6 issues, but it was also published as a paperback edition in 1960. So it wasn't until some years later that the chapters were collected and put into print form. And now I don't know if 1960 was the very first time it was published in book form, but it was not uncommon for writers to do this with their work. This is how Charles Dickens did his. If I remember right, this is also how Sherlock Holmes was written. So, as I said, at the start of when novels really started to become a thing where people were reading for enjoyment, they would serialize the story and then maybe publish it later as a collection in one book. So Nero Wolfe is, as I said, he is the fictional detective in this instance, and he is he's not American, but he lives in New York. He has a brownstone building on West 35th Street in New York, and he leaves he leaves his home on very rare occasions. This, if you are familiar with, say, the Garrett P.I. books by, I want to say Glenn Cook, but let's see. I have my app here, and I was looking at that just a while ago. Yes, Glenn Cook. Glenn Cook wrote the Garrett Files, and a lot of what goes on was inspired by Nero Wolfe. So Nero Wolfe is this great detective. He tries never to leave. He tries never to investigate anything. If you need Nero Wolfe, he doesn't come to you. You go to him. He's that important and that conceited. He has a team that he hires out to do the legwork for his cases. He has one associate in particular. His name is Archie Goodwin, and Archie is usually the one that goes out and is the principal investigator. And in fact, Archie is the narrator for the novels. Archie is a bit of a ladies' man, and he actually is a good detective. Not saying he isn't, because Nero Wolfe is the genius detective. Archie is a good detective. He has good instincts. He has an eye for detail, and he makes sure that that he's doing right by his clients, right by the law, and he can be a little bit abrasive, which it kind of is a character flaw that's introduced, in my opinion, that makes Archie a much more rounded character. He's not always the knight in shining armor. He will come and rescue the damsel in distress, but he will also put the screws to her, in a manner of speaking, if he feels that she's withholding information that could be vital to solving the case. So while he is a gallant gentleman, and that he does his best in all situations, he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. Anyway, so Nero Wolfe, brilliant, obese, never wants to leave, is highly, what's the word I'm looking for here? He loves orchids. That's his passion. And it's really funny. So he has a set schedule, and it's breakfast at this time, and then I go up to the orchid rooms from this time to this time, business from this time to this time, then I have lunch, and then business, and then orchids, and then I go to sleep. And he will not, if you come while it's orchid time, he will not see you. You will wait until he is good and ready to see you. So anyway, the rubber band, we have a group of people who come to see, I say a group of people. So Nero Wolfe is approached by the president of a corporation. The guy's name is Anthony Perry. And he's concerned that one of his employees is being accused of theft, and he doesn't believe that she did it. But $30,000 has gone missing. And it's the company's vice president, Clara Fox, who is on the receiving end of this accusation. Now, no, excuse me. Clara Fox is the personal assistant to the president of the company, and the vice president is accusing her of stealing the money. Anyway, Archie then goes in to investigate. He's drawn into the case. He meets Clara. He meets all the principal actors in the case, and he finds out that a group of Americans were sent to, it does get convoluted. So there's a marquis. He's a British nobleman. He came to America on confidential business. There was a Wild West posse. They called them the Rubber Band. The marquis was on the receiving end of a lynch mob, and this lynch mob was stopped by the Rubber Band. Now, the marquis, at that point in time, promised them that he would share with them his fortune, and Clara, who was the daughter of one of the members of the band, her father passed away. The members of this band are interested in receiving this promised money from the marquis. So she wrote a letter to the marquis, and the marquis has decided he wasn't going to pay up. Now, this doesn't necessarily set up for a mystery. It seems, well, we've got this missing $30,000, but why would she take the money if she could get a lot more money from this marquee? In the meantime, they do find the money in Clara's car, and as she is in Nero Wolfe's office at the time, in his brownstone building, he convinces her to just stay in his building and hide out there. The police, in the meantime, are trying to find her, and Archie, Nero Wolfe does take the case. He's convinced by the answers that she gives him that she was not the one that stole the money and that it must have been planted on her. Somebody's trying to frame her, which, again, it doesn't necessarily make sense. Why would someone try to frame her if she has, it sounds like maybe if she goes to jail, she would be out of the way of this particular marquee and maybe not get the money. But then the rest of the people who are former members of this posse, they're still entitled to I say entitled, but they might still come after the marquis for the money that he promised them all those years ago. Anyway, so Clara is hiding at this point in time in Nero Wolfe's home, and Archie is going out to figure out what happened to the money, the $30,000, why it was planted on Clara's car, and people do end up dead for this, and so Clara is also accused of murdering these people, because obviously if she has the money, she needed to hush up these people, so she decided to kill them instead. And I'm not really doing a good job in explaining what goes on in this story. Suffice it to say, you have a lot of strong personalities in Nero Wolfe and Archie that are the principal investigators, and Nero Wolfe is using his acumen, his reasoning skills, his presence even, to daunt the witnesses and to even stall the police in arresting Clara. If you like mystery novels and you like having those distinct characters, Rex Stout does a good job in bringing Nero Wolfe and Archie Goodwin to life. I don't recall a lot of the other side characters having as much character development as you get from Nero and Archie. But to be honest, Nero and Archie, there are, 33 novels and 41 novellas and short stories about Nero Wolfe. So you do get the opportunity, if you read more of those novels, to see not necessarily the transformation, because that would be it would be wrong to say that they transform, but you'd see the solidification of their personalities and their style of investigation and things like that. I do like Rex Stout novels. I have several, and I've read more than that. And I hope to be able to review a few more of these in the future. So please let me know what you thought of Rex Stout. Let me know if you've read The Rubber Band. Like, subscribe, put the bell on so you get notifications, and comment down below all that jazz, and enjoy what you're reading.